Hey folks, so we're working on our Kawasaki Bayou 300. So you can see I just got some fresh, for what good it does, I don't know, but nice fresh high temp paint on our exhaust system. I think it's pretty good stuff. Alright, so now, yes, believe it or not, I was able to get the fasteners out of this. That really amazes me. But this is all sandblasted and painted up because it was looking pretty scuzzy. Just to make sure that the good luck continues down the road with getting these out, I put a little never sees on. Now if I can find the, there we go. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get those all the way in. They seem to there we go, nice and tight. Okay, very nice. Oh, that looks great. Nice and tight. So, I don't think I was really going to pursue this. I mean, this is really just an inexpensive machine that I'm wanting to flip. So, but anyway, this fastener here was very loose, and this had to have rattled just terrible. And so I thought, well, let's see if it's loose, if I can loosen it more. And it came out. This one was tight. That came out. So, all right. So that really looks a lot nicer than it did, I would say. Now, let's see. We are going to continue working on our exhaust system. And let's see. Yep, there goes Ray. Okay, so if you recall, you probably saw that the exhaust was rotted off here. Like where it flared out to go over the pipe here, that was rotted completely off. The bolt in here was so corroded, it was never coming out of there. So I had, as you'll notice, the rear shock is not here. I had to get that out of the way so I could get in with a die grinder and cut that bolt off. And then I drilled that out, and you can actually see the remainder of the bolt. But I retapped it to 1/4 20, and so, all right, now we're going to put the muffler back in place, and you can see that I got the smallest adapter available. I think it was like 1 5/8 to 1 3/4, something like that, from O'Reilly's. I had to cut about 3/16 to 1/4. I had to slice out of it, but welded it all back up. No issues at all. I think that looks really, really good. And so then we sandblasted the entire muffler like we do on every build. And yeah, so here we are. Looking good, looking good. Let's see if we can't get this in here now. Yeah, see, I better get that clamp on here first. Yeah. Let's see here. I am going to need a 7/16 wrench. I'm sorry, I thought I was prepared. Okay. All right, we're going to back this out as far as we can. I think that's about it. And okay. All right, so there you can see I got the clamp back on, and now let's see if we can't get this through here. All right, and there we are. The lead gasket's still really good on the exhaust, so we will go ahead and get our real close. Okay. So those are both ready to go. No, I need a 12 or a half, I think it is. All right. Now I'll go back to an 11 millimeter or 7/16, and we'll tighten this up. All right, huh? That just really makes me so happy, I gotta say. That looks really nice, because there is nothing wrong with the muffler. The spark arrestor is in good condition, everything was really nice, so it was just that was rotted off. So I'm so happy that we are able to completely revitalize, you know, this exhaust system. So notice now how very, very nice that is. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments if you would. I think this looks really great. This has been sandblasted and resprayed. Okay, so this bottom bolt, I noticed, can be pretty fussy to get in. So, and because it's a trapped nut, so it's got to be really quite perfect for you to get that started. And let me make sure that is started before I move to the top. Okay, yeah, yep, that's where she needs to be. All right, so now you can see I've got a ways to go to get this. Okay, so now we'll take our bolt, slide that fella in there. DeWalt tools make excellent hammers. And okay, yeah, so this is kind of tough to get your hand into. There we go. I just had to get on this side of the machine. All right, I'll get my socket on the impact. And a 9/16 wrench. All right, let's get it tight. All right, there we are. That looks excellent. Excellent. Love it. Oh, that is so much work done on a nice little machine that deserves that work. Ah, yeah. All right. Well, let's see. So now what we can do, because we have the whole rear end is all put back together. Both of the shocks are redone. Everything is looking great. The only thing left to do back here is to check out the gear lube. The brakes, I mean, they work in the back only. The front, we are going to have to address that. Anywho, yeah, Well, I think I will get some tools together here, and we're going to go ahead and get our back tires installed. There's nothing left to be done in the back end here, so all right, I'll be right back. Now it's time to put our back tires on. Yep. Yeah. Looks pretty nice. Yep. Oh, what the hell. This one's being grumpy about something. Not grumpy anymore. All right. And there is some good looking stuff. So, yeah, you can get a good look at how things are looking. Pretty nice. Pretty nice for an inexpensive little machine. Yes, I have way more into it in labor than I could ever make back, but that's how she goes. All right, so there is the rear diff skid plate. She's taken a couple of hits, not too bad, but all sandblasted, repainted, got all the rubber bumpers in it, and let's see, I'd take you with me here, but I actually got to lay on the floor here to get this done, so maybe this isn't even worth recording. But nice to have a freshly painted skid plate underneath there, and it's got one rubber bumper was missing, so now it's got all three. And yeah, so we're coming along pretty nice. Let's see, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that new ball that came on the machine. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that. All right, here we are. So this is what we took off. It went on right there, bent all to knot. So now we have these parts that we cut off of that bear tracker. And so I figured it might be, and it is, way up here. And I think that looks awkward, to say the least. And it leaves, we're touching at the bottom here, and about a 3/8 gap at the top. So if I cut off this hook here, that'll allow it to move forward or towards the machine, and that'll help the mount sit flat then. So I just got to figure out, and I'm gonna have to remove these mounts. I'm not for sure what they were even for. I don't know, nothing important, but those are gonna go away. All right, so I need to find out where I'm gonna cut these. And I need to go ahead and do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut that noisy welder off. Now, let's step back and see what there is to see. Again, I'm sorry for the noise and the whatever. Let's make sure we're straight on here. I threw an old I threw an old Carhartt up there to protect that nice new the rack that's all done. Also from the Bear Tracker. So anyway, it seems like, I don't know why, but it seems like that one's at more of an angle, even though they're both exactly the same place on the pipe. So I don't understand why it would look that way. Okay, I figured out what's wrong and why it is that this one is at more of an angle than that one. Or at least it appears. All right, so we have a 6-inch speed square here. So I'm flat on the horizontal here, and I'm touching right down here. Let me get. I'm sitting so close because yeah, you know what I'm saying. I can't get further away. So right down here is where I'm touching. And now, all right, let's get this up here. I hope you guys can see that. And right here is where I'm touching. In the same place. I don't know, you know, like I say, looking at this through the camera, it looks good. But looking at it from where I'm sitting, I don't know if it's the color or the lighting or the whatever, but it just looks weird. I don't know. Anyway, and the side profile, looking at it that way, looks okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and spot weld, you know, a couple more places, and then we'll go ahead and take the whole thing off. So, because there's a lot of nice work going on here, and I'd like to not mess it up. So, okay, we'll be back. Isn't that so much better than the old bent up pile that we had? There was primer sprayed all over this. That took a while to get that clean through all the grooves and whatnot. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can't get this installed here, and let's get you guys a better view here of what we're working on. Okay, so we've got the 2 mounts up high. We've got 2 mounts here, and then 2 here to the rack. So we're going to start with the ones that are way up underneath there. So let's grab a bolt and see what we can do. All right, so we've done a little bit of sandpaper flap disc grinding on this. I'm gonna see if by chance it fits now. Okay, so now I have 2 smaller bolts, and these need to find their way home down underneath the machine. All right, that first one went in nice and easy. Let's try the second one. Oh, no, I can't turn that. Let me see what I can do down here. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's just make sure these babies are snug here now. All right. Oh, isn't that great? I love it. Nice fresh paint. And now these bolts down here where they're likely, you know, to get in the dirt, you know, stuff splashed on them constantly. I decided to replace those with their 5/16 by 18 stainless steel with stainless steel washer. All right, what do you think? Is this better, or is that? So you can see I changed the mounting point and whatnot, as I'd shown earlier when I was welding it together. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that being replaced with that. Really looks nice. You know, I decided not to make a bunch of fuss here. I mean, it's not like it was worth anything here, because what happened here was somebody put a strap around that and cinched it tight. Well, when it did, it crushed those two pipes together. And of course, that was a big collision. But anyway, yeah, I think that looks really nice. All clean and painted, really looks sharp. So. All right, so what we're doing now is we're getting ready to address the situation where like I had shown earlier, that this is incorrectly mounted on the bottom side of the mount instead of where it's supposed to be. So I gotta find the socket that fits. All right, got that. So now you can see what a huge difference that is in where that airbox sits. I can't imagine why somebody thought it went on the bottom. It definitely doesn't. So, oh wow, yeah, we've got all kinds of ick down in there. I'm sure you guys can probably see that. Let me get a little light on it. Yeah, there you can see a lot of stuff in there. I didn't realize that was in there. So instead of fighting to get this out, because then this boot also would have to come off, the intake. So I'm gonna have to find a vacuum, and we're gonna get that cleaned up. Machines suffer greatly from inadequate support, same as on the front. And okay, pardon me, dug-a-lug. Okay, so you can see the big crack here. This gets broken and pulled through. The crack continues, and it's to a much lesser extent. We have the same thing on that side. All right, so we put a 1/4 inch aluminum plate in there and drilled and tapped 4/4 20 holes, and now we have excellent support. You could sit on it pretty much if you wanted to. Much better, and really, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, considering, you know, without those plates, the fenders kind of need to be replaced, and yeah, well, that's not in the cards, folks. So, okay, now we're going to continue our journey here. Let me point out one more little aspect, such as right there. I retapped all the holes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that mount the fenders to the chassis. Retapped those and went to, oh, I can't quite see that one. It's right there. All right, anyway, yeah, we retapped those real quick and went all quarter 20. I did put these in, and you know, with this bushing so that you can't over tighten, I get the point, but I'd rather have the simplicity and whatnot. So that's what we did. Yeah. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mount the rack. Now, if you remember in teardown, this bolt here broke off, so we drilled that out and went to a, well, it stayed the same, it's 5/16 18. And anyway, we're gonna go ahead and replace those bolts as well with brand new bolts. Stainless, of course, why not? You guys are gonna get sick of hearing me say that. If so, roast me in the comments, I don't mind. All right. Now, get this last one in, we can tighten this down. Let's see. Lost my impact driver. So I'd be looking for 13 millimeter. All right. All right, very nice, very nice. That looks pretty nice. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think I like it. I like all the bolts. I like the gloss on the grab bar, or whatever you want to call it, because on this, the grab bar is actually the frame. So if you bend that, you've damaged your frame. That's not a great idea, but the rack is really beefy, so that's going to give a lot of support to everything. But I like the textured flat on the racks and the gloss on everything else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So now our next conundrum to fix is going to be right there. And that, my friends, is a broken bolt. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. All right, I found a longer fastener. Should work. Okay. There we go. Yep. A little bit too tight. Okay. there we go. So that's great. You know, when I got the machine, there was no fastener there, so much better. All right, now we're gonna scoot over a little, and let's see, right there is another fastener. So there's two in the front, one in the back. We've got our nice storage box lid here. You can see I've cleaned it as best I can. It had been sprayed with primer and whatnot, so it's not too bad for you know, what it was. So anyway, yeah, that just comes right off, and you've got a great big storage area. I really like that. The lid, the functionality of it really isn't there, but it works. Can't really complain about that. So, all right. So there's our lid. Very nice. This machine is definitely coming together. I'm going to use the camera here to see if I have tail lights or brake lights or anything. All right, ignition's on. Let's see. I can see the one. I can't see. Okay, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. That looks great, huh? All right, let's try brake. Yes. Okay. Now I know I've got a problem. I've got to adjust the switch on the foot brake, but yeah, it's only going to take just a little adjustment and that will be working. Okay, so that's no big deal then. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, let's shut the lights back off. I don't know what I've got for battery. It may be low because I've been goofing with this machine now for a couple of weeks, but let's see if by chance there's enough juice that we might be able to fire this. Let's see. So, gas is on, choke is on. Okay. And there we are. Nice meeting you guys down here. So, we're going to change the oil on our Bayou 300 here. Got a 17 millimeter, yeah, with a jump extension, but let's see here. Okay. Kind of nice, you can reach around the top side of the frame and get two hands on that. Okay. Yeah, that oil is not very old. Kind of watching it as it goes by, going over my finger. I don't see any chunks, nothing's hitting my finger here. I see no sparkles. I can see the sun shining through it because it's bright as can be outside. Well, I don't know, hopefully that's showing, you know, okay to you guys on screen, but yeah, that oil looks pretty nice. I guess I really didn't need to change it, but I don't think it smells gassy. Maybe a little, maybe just a little bit, yeah. So Well, it's a couple of bucks. I'm not worried about it. It's, I feel, yeah, gotta have that peace of mind. Gotta have that peace of mind. So, anyway. Well, yeah, I'll let that drain for a second longer here, but. Little longer. Well, you know what? It just seems like that trickle kind of adds up. So, I don't want to be too soon. Have you guys yelling at me in the comments. All right, well, here goes the plug. If I can get it in there. It's at an angle, so it's kind of not easy to get started. Let's see here. Almost had it. Boy, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get my hands clean here and let that drain out a little bit more. Okay, I got my hands clean and I can maybe hold on to something here. All right, let's see here. Yeah, the retention ball in this extension doesn't work anymore. It makes it kind of hard to use. Okay, scoot that out of the way. All right, that's snugged up nice. Wipe off that little, they got a little tiny skid plate there to protect that, just like they should. All right, I'll get the camera moved over to this side and we'll change the filter. Okay, we're gonna get the oil filter out now. We have two 8mm bolts that remove that. It's easy and then it gets tough. Oh my gosh, that doesn't want to come out of there. All right. Looks like, I don't know. I think I'm going to take those threads and wire brush those and just clean them up a little bit. Sorry, somebody's driving by making a whole lot of noise. All right. They're mowing the ditches this time of year, so that's what that was. Should have just got the impact driver and spun these out of there. Okay. Well, let's get a good look here. Looking for any signs of sparkles. There's a tiny bit of debris there, but that's not glittery though. You see that? That's most likely just some clutch disc material, which, you know, you're gonna have that. It's a 25-year-old machine. You gotta expect to see that. Nothing abnormal at all about what's in there. Okay. All right, so, well, I'm gonna let that drain. We'll let that sit. And then when we're done with the oil change, then we'll come and take a good close look at that and see if we see any of those horrible sparkles. Okay, so now we're gonna take a close look at the new oil filter that we've got here. Looks like a very nice filter. There's no differentiation between, you know, inlet and outlet. So let's go ahead now, and now a lot of oil in there yet. All right. Well, let's get this tube out of there. Okay. So, according to how it was installed, there's a little turning. It's turned down right here. That goes to the outside of the vehicle. Yeah, I don't see any pieces of metal on anything at all. So that's really a great sign, to say the least. All right, so we'll push this back. Get it aligned. Will help. Okay, there we are. Got that ready to install. Now, before we do that, we're gonna take a nice clean shop towel and I'm gonna wipe out the housing. And I'm looking for metal. I'm looking for sparkles. And I'm not seeing anything. And again, this darker sludge here, that's to be expected. That's normal in my opinion. All right, well, I'll just make sure it's nice and clean. Make sure the sealing surface is good and clean, no debris. And then we're going to take a look at the O-ring here. And of course, if you notice, there's a, you know, kind of a trademark of DRG is a golden retriever hair. But besides that, the O-ring looks great, no problems. And do note that this was on the top. So, you know, I wonder about that, because that puts the Japan upside down. I wonder if this was installed incorrectly before. So you see there, Japan is upside down. I'm going to go ahead and pause recording here, and I am going to see what I can find in the repair manual that I have for this. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, so this is all nice and clean now. Yeah, I don't know. My way of thinking is Japan is right side up, therefore it should go on that way. But that's not the way I found it, and there's a little bit more old dirt on this edge of the, you know, the front facing where it might, I don't know, say get splashed on by the wheel. So that kind of seems more likely that it should go that way. So I'm gonna put it on the way I found it. I did wire brush the bolts, but there's still, I don't know what that is. Like, it's like really old, like gasket maker. I don't know. But anyway, all right, here we go. Put this on. And now, if it does not want to go in all the way for you and you're doing this job, you almost certainly have that tube that goes through the filter itself on backwards. So double check that, because it should slide right in and go right up to the engine case. All right. Right, so we've got that part of the job done. Now we will turn this out. Okay, and there is no dipstick, but the O-ring looks to be in pretty darn good condition. Just make sure it's clean. And yeah, that looks really good. No problems there. All right. Had to go get a funnel. Make sure that's nice and clean. There's a little bit of dirt on that opening. Don't really care to get any dirt in this nice little motor. We're using that stuff today. Yeah, you guys can't see at all what I'm doing. Not that, you know, you guys really need to watch me putting oil in a motor. I don't know. Who really cares? I mean, you guys got that, right? Yeah. So this engine takes 2.3 quarts. And that's approximately, I don't care in anything metric. All right, got the first one in. And let me see if I can get you guys zoomed in. Yeah, kinda. No, I can't. There. So you guys can watch the window right here as that fills up. I mean, that sounds seriously exciting. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but so, yeah, it does seem like that old oil smells just a little bit gassy, which doesn't surprise me because it had a new carburetor on it when I bought it. though it was completely dirty. But still, so yeah, okay. Now we can see we're starting to get some oil there. We're about up to the bottom line. Let's see. All right. Well, we'll get that funnel out of there, get the cap in. Then I'm gonna get the camera back on its tripod, and we're gonna take a good close look at our oil filter and see what there is to see. Okay, well, I got you guys zoomed right in on our oil filter. So let's take a peek. Oh, I do see one little piece right there in the first pleat that I opened up. Let's see here. Boy, that's all I'm seeing though. All right, well, there's one little tiny piece. Let's see where, right there, you can see that tiny fleck right there, right there. Oh boy, right there by my thumbnail. Yeah, there's one little fleck there. All right, well, I think I've gone all the way around. Gosh, feels like it. So I saw three, maybe, let's see, right there. If you see that, yeah, there you go, you can see that. So I saw four little flecks. That's not really very noteworthy, I don't feel. So I have absolutely no concerns about the condition of this engine and transmission. Of course, they share oil. Hey folks, so one thing I thought of, I never did a compression check on this Bayou 300. So I've got my gauge hooked up. The battery has got a good charge. I'm gonna go wide open throttle and let's go. Of course it moves so you couldn't see it, but I'm down with that. About 118 or so pounds. 100, yeah, right around there. So yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's just for fun, let's try that one more time. I'll try to get the camera a little bit better on that, and of course then it'll move. But here we go. Okay, yeah, that's almost right on 120. So yeah, it's kind of been a long one here, really. I don't know. I've probably been on this for 3 weeks
at least, yeah.
So, well.
But look at how much better it looks from when you first brought it in here.
It's unbelievable.
You had that front was all droopy, and now it's not. Nice and even all the way across. Yeah. Them racks look absolutely beautiful compared to what was there.
Yes, yes.
The wheels, I mean, you know, fresh coat of paint on them.
Sandblasted to bare metal.
Yep, sandblasted to bare metal. Brand new rubbers on the front.
And everything is really solidly mounted now.
Yeah.
Not floppy, not saggy. Even the back fenders, I mean, that's solid.
That's solid.
It's not going anywhere.
Those plates were perfect.
Yes.
That was absolutely perfect.
Yep.
That's exactly, that was good design on your behalf.
Boy, oh boy. Well, I couldn't have done it without your machining expertise. What a team, folks. What a team, huh? All right.
That is beautiful. And that is a wrap.
Yes.